Hello, my friend. Happy full moon in Leo. I'm Rachel Hardy. And in this quick video, we're going to do an overview of what's up with this full moon, how to ritualize it and work with the energy if you choose, and a few key characteristics that make this full moon so unique and special. So this full moon's in Leo, and first and foremost, it's all about joy. Leo is the mansion of joy, creativity, self-expression, radiantly being you in the world. And this full moon is a harvest and a release, like all full moons are, of that joyful, creative, pure, expressive life force energy coming through. Let's celebrate that, shall we? Now, what's interesting is this full moon is opposite Pluto, who just moved into Aquarius. Pluto has been doing some interesting stuff that we won't go in depth in this video right now, but let's just remember that Pluto rules transformation. All of the deepest, most intense, most complete, utter transformation that you could go through is represented by Pluto. And Pluto also represents and rules personal power. So there's an opposition with this full moon and Pluto. And it's like a harvest, like a release moment of all of the deep work that you've been doing, especially whatever transformational processes you've been in, especially the really deep ones, and whatever's going on connected to your personal power. This is a moment of landing in, celebrating, releasing, and allowing the beauty and the joy and the fullness of you and of the expression of you to come through more clearly, fully, radiantly in the world. So, can you connect to the joy in that? And that's my biggest invitation for you with this full moon, is no matter what the journey has looked like for you lately, can you connect to the joy of being on your path in this moment and knowing that it's perfect in the sense that you are creating and co-creating exactly the experience that your soul meant to have, and that whatever parts have been challenging, have been difficult, may have taken you to some really deep places, are all about the more fullness, the more complete radiance and essence of your life force energy coming through. So this full moon is a moment to celebrate that, to honor that. If you want to ritualize this full moon, I would invite you to connect to the sun. Leo is ruled by and connected to the sun. And whether you do this physically by getting out in the sun and feeling the rays absorbed into your body, absorbed into your brain, to your nervous system, and allowing that light and that energy to fill you and light you up, or whether you do it energetically, if it's not possible to physically get out into the actual sun. And energetically, you can connect to the sun in the same way and absorb that frequency of pure light, radiant energy shining out. This is a moment to be you. This is a moment to be you more fully. Let's celebrate that. A couple more things about this full moon. It's in an inconjunct with Saturn in Pisces and in another inconjunct with Venus in Capricorn. The inconjunct is an interesting angle because it represents a choice point. And I want to credit and thank one of my teachers, Michael Lennox, who turned me on to the interestingness of working with this particular angle, the inconjunct. It's like a choice point, but less strong than a square. Sometimes when we're in super intense challenges, we just go into our default patterns of responding. But the inconjunct is less intense, but it's an invitation to show up differently. And there are actually 3 different inconjuncts going on with this full moon that are pretty interesting. Again, one is between the moon and Saturn in Pisces. The second is between the moon and Venus in Capricorn. And then the third one is an inconjunct between Uranus, the Great Awakener, and the South Node, which represents a release of the past. I'm going to do just a summary overview of all these and say that there's opportunity all over the place for releasing with this full moon. And I'm going to invite you inward to ask, feel, and live in the question of what is wanting to be released? What are you ready to drop by the side of the road to allow yourself to fully show up in that radiant, pure expression of you who gets to live and enjoy this world and being here and being full of that life force energy. That's what this full moon's about. And I'm going to invite you to be open to release whatever wants to be dropped that would keep you from fully embodying this even more. Lastly, this moon's also in a square with Jupiter. The square is a little more of an intense angle. It can represent an obstacle or a challenge. And it's all about our growth, but it's about our growth happening in a more challenging, obstacle-feeling way. So a square between the full moon and Jupiter represents our expansion, our abundance, all the goodness, all the yumminess of being alive. And this moment of release is in like a connection to this beautiful, huge expansion that's ready to come through. And it may show up as a challenge. So this is an invitation to feel for the bigger picture, to know that whatever challenges, whatever choice points may be showing up, are inviting you to step bigger, are inviting you to go bigger. Leo is all about bigness. There's no shrinking back with this energy of Leo that we're in. It's inviting you to really show up, claim, own, radiate, express who you are. So breathing that in, connecting energetically or physically to the sun and breathing in that life-giving energy, I'm going to invite you to claim, own, love, live this deep essence of who you are and allow that to be celebrated in this moment, knowing how awesome you are. Thanks so much for being with me. Please like and subscribe if this has been helpful, and I'll see you soon.